this is Chaplain Matthew Bryant. Welcome to the Spiritual Readiness Refuel, brought to you by the 914th Air Refueling Chapel team, equipping you with tools and real stories of faith, inspiration, and resilience, helping you to hone the mind and live resilience. In today's episode, I'll be introducing you to the second of 9 Resiliency Refuels, a series breaking down Dr. Henry Cloud's book, 9 Things You Simply Must Do to Succeed in Love and Life. Today's principle encourages you to fix or let go of the negative things and bad things in your life that are weighing you down, exhausting you, draining valuable energy, and keeping you from accomplishing the goals and dreams that you have set. And if you haven't done so, go back and listen to the last episode, episode 1, where we took on the first principle of dig it up, and that'll really lead into this principle. So let's go ahead and dig into principle number 2, the second of 9 resiliency refuels. This principle is pull the tooth. I love this one, pull the tooth. It's a great image that you can really hang on to and think about and chew on for this week, no pun intended, as it relates to chewing on it with the teeth. So pull the tooth really, it gets onto this, is that the successful people don't hang on to bad stuff for long. Right? What Dr. Cloud refers to as these deja vu people, these people that continue to, he runs into that are successful in life and love. What is it makes them successful? Well, one of the things is they don't hang on to bad stuff for long. They get rid of the bad stuff, period. Sometimes that's quickly. Sometimes they work a process to get rid of it because, sometimes you don't want to just pull a tooth right away. Sometimes you can get a filling, right? Using the dental illustration, sometimes you can fix something. But there does become a point when a tooth is beyond recovery, and sometimes you just have to pull the tooth. A few examples maybe is relationship that you're in that's just maybe not going anywhere. It's a one-way relationship. You're investing time, and the other person is not reciprocating. And you've been working for years to fix that. Activities that are not getting you where you want to go. Maybe you've been doing the same thing to try and lose weight, and it's just not getting you where you want to go. Maybe it's time to pull that tooth and try something different. Maybe it's a time you're spending that's not contributing to the real well-being or mission in your life, the thing that you've been focusing on maybe since last episode when you thought about what are your dreams, what are your goals, and are the things that you're currently doing helping you get to that dream, to that goal? If not, it may be time to fix that tooth, or it may be time just to pull it all together, because successful people, they deal with the problem that is draining time, energy, and resources from their life. It's draining time, energy, and resources from them accomplishing their dreams and their goals. So your success in relationships and in life is going to be limited or enhanced by how well you confront and resolve the negative things, either quickly, directly, lovingly, and I would say thoroughly and effectively. Don't just pull half the tooth, right? Don't leave it dangling there. Sometimes when it's time to pull the tooth, you got to pull it all the way. Now, one of the things that Dr. Cloud talks about for you to help you recognize whether or not you have a tooth that needs to be pulled is he talks about the cringe factor. And the cringe factor is this, is that how do you know when maybe this is something negative or something that is a tooth that needs to be pulled as well? Does it feel right? It doesn't feel quite right to you. This is something maybe that you're agreeing to that you wish you weren't, right? Or maybe it violates some important core value that you have. Or maybe you're about to, you kind of sort of think about it and you're like, man, I think I'm going to regret this tomorrow. And so, one of the things that he gives as a way forward, and I just want to read this from the last part here, is this, when your senses tell you that something is wrong, there's a reason that you feel that way. Check it out. See if it's not paranoia, right? Because it could be, right? Or it could be what he calls wrongful suspiciousness on your part. If it is, then you need to work through that. So if it's paranoia or if it's wrongful suspiciousness, he says, hey, you need to work through that. But if it's not those things, listen to it. Listen to what your gut's telling you. It will save you from bad relationships, bad business deals, bad purchases, bad debt, hurtful situations, and circumstances, bad choices, and many other negatives that your life will be a lot better without. Resist the impulse to just say yes all the time. So He says here in summary, my deja vu friends, the successful people that you keep seeing, they would give one piece of advice to your aching tooth, the thing that's draining your time, energy, and resources. I quote, make the appointment, pull the tooth, deal with whatever's wrong. That may mean fixing it, or it may mean getting rid of it altogether. You know, something that I want to pull out here is he quotes Proverbs 22:3. It's a verse from the Hebrew and the Christian scriptures that says this: a prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. That's Proverbs 22:3. That a prudent man sees danger and takes refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. So what tooth do you need to pull? What appointment do you need to make this week, maybe even today, to address that negative thing that's draining time, energy, and resources from you that you can just resolve? I know there was a time when I think about it, it was several years ago here. I was in school, and I had this situation where I had a doctoral chair that had a deadline for me, and then I had a seminar that also gave me a similar deadline. And man, I knew I was not going to be able to accomplish both. And I just had this painful feeling of dread over committing to both deadlines. And I let that tooth ache for about a week and got no progress on either paper and on either assignment. Finally, I went to the chair and I said, hey, I just don't think I can make that deadline. Do you know that chair was relieved and that I was relieved? And then you know what I was able to do? I was able to move forward. I was able to move forward not just with school, but that was affecting my personal life. That was affecting my relationship with my wife. That was affecting my work performance. We are not people that live just siloed lives as if my performance at school or the stress that I feel at school or the stress I feel at work or the stress that I feel at home doesn't affect the other aspects of my life. If you're to continue the illustration of a toothache, remember that a toothache can sometimes turn into a whole mouthful of pain and regret. Our personal lives, our professional lives, these things, they bleed over into each other. And when you think about being a reserve citizen airman who has multiple responsibilities across the board, whether that's you have school responsibilities, family responsibilities, work responsibilities on the civilian sector, work responsibilities in the military sector. If you have an aching tooth in one of those aspects of your life, it's not going to be long before that aching tooth starts to affect the rest of the mouth. And by that, what I mean is it's not only going to affect the rest of the areas of your life, it's going to affect the rest of the areas of your life and the people that are closest to you in those areas. So it's going to affect not only the well-being and the morale of maybe your unit, it'll affect the well-being and the morale of your home, maybe your classmates, maybe your colleagues at work on the civilian side. So we are not just little marbles sitting in a jar that sort of aren't really affecting one another, as if you can pull a marble out and it not affect the rest of the jar. We are so interconnected in the way we live our lives and the way our health and well-being impacts not just ourselves and our personal lives, but those around us, in particular those who are closest to us. And so for the sake of not only your own well-being, but for the sake of the well-being of your wingmen, your family, friends and family that are closest to you in any sector of life, let's go ahead and do that thing that we need to do. Make the appointment, fix the tooth, or maybe we need to pull it all together. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If this was a helpful episode, take some time and just share it with somebody else. We'd be grateful to have your help in getting the word about these resiliency refuels that we're doing, these 9 resiliency refuels. This was episode 2, dealing with the second principle. And I would love for you to join us in through this whole series, looking at Dr. Cloud's book, 9 Things You Simply Must Do to Succeed in Love and Life. And if you want to reach out, please reach out to me or the Chapel team at 716-236-2096. You can also reach me anytime by email at matthew.bryant.7@us.af.mil. I look forward to hearing from you and look forward to joining you next time for our 3rd Resiliency Refuel. Now go and take action today. Do something to improve your spiritual readiness. Something you can do right now is go ahead and click subscribe so that you're sure to catch the latest episodes of the Spiritual Readiness Refuel. And would you go ahead and actually do me a huge favor and leave us an honest review? It'll help us get better, and it'll also help us get the word out to others so that we can help others and continue to help you hone the mind and live resilience so we can win in tomorrow's fight, whenever, wherever.